Hey guys, sorry yesterday my alarm went off and it just cut my video out. We'll pick up where we left off. It was awesome talking to you guys last night. Um, and yeah, I miss you guys so much. But anyways, here we are. But at any rate, Gollum did not attack him. He could see the sword in Bilbo's hand. He sat still, shivering and whispering. At least Bilbo could not wait any longer. "Well," he said, "what about your promise? I want to go. You must show me the way." "Did we say so, precious? Show the nasty little Bagginses the way out? Yes, yes. But what has it got in his pockets, eh? Not string, precious, but not nothing. Oh, no. Gollum." "Never you mind," said Bilbo. "A promise is a promise." "Cross it is, impatient precious," hisses Gollum. "But it must wait, yes, it must wait. We can't go up the tunnel so hasty. We must go and get some things first. Yes, things to help us." "Well, hurry," said Bilbo, relieved to think of Gollum going away. He thought he was going to make an excuse and did not mean to come back. What was Gollum talking about? What useful thing could he keep out of the dark lake? But he was wrong. Gollum did mean to come back. He was angry now and hungry, and he was a miserable, wicked creature, and already he had a plan. Not far away was his island, of which Bilbo knew nothing, and there in his hiding place he kept a few wretched oddments and one very beautiful thing. Very beautiful, very wonderful. He had a ring, a golden ring, a precious ring. "My birthday present," he whispered to himself, as he had done in the endless dark days. "That's what he wants. Yes, we wants it." He wanted it because it was a ring of power. And if you slipped that ring on your finger, you were invisible. Only in the full sunlight could you be seen, and then only by your shadow, and that would be shaky and faint. My birthday present. It came to me on my birthday, my precious. I did that wrong, that impersonation wrong. Let's try it again. My birthday present. It came to me on my birthday, my precious. So he had always said to himself. But who knows how Gollum came by that present? Ages ago, in the old days, when such rings were still at large in the world, perhaps even the master who ruled them could not have said. Gollum used to wear it at first, till it tired him, and then he kept it in a pouch next to his skin, till it galled him. And now, usually he hid it in a hole in the rock on his island, and was always going back to look at it. And still sometimes he put it on, when he could not bear to be parted from it any longer, and when he was very, very hungry and tired of fish. Then he would creep along the dark passages, looking for stray goblins. He might even venture into places where the torches were lit, and made his eyes blink and smart, for he would be safe. Oh yes, quite safe. No one would see him. No one would notice him, till he had his fingers on their throat. Only a few hours ago he had worn it, and caught a small goblin imp. How it squeaked. He still had a bone or two left to gnaw, but he wanted something softer. Quite safe, yes, he whispered to himself. It won't see us, will it, my precious? No, it won't see us, and its nasty little sword will be useless. Yes, quite useless. This is what it was in his wicked little mind, as he slipped suddenly from Bilbo's side and flapped back to his boat and went off into the dark. Bilbo thought he had heard the last of him. Still, he waited for a while, for he had no idea how to find his way out. Suddenly, he heard a screech. It sent a shiver down his back. Gollum was cursing and wailing. Away in his gloom, not very far off by the sound of it, he was on his island, scrabbling here and there, searching and seeking in vain. "Where is it? Where is it?" Bilbo heard him crying. "Lost it, my precious, lost, lost. Curse us, and curse us, my precious is lost." "What's the matter?" Bilbo called. "What have you lost?" "It mustn't ask us," shrieked Gollum. "Not its business. No. Gollum, it's lost. Gollum, Gollum, Gollum." "Well, so am I," cried Bilbo, "and I want to get unlost. And I won the game, and you promised. So come along, come let me out, and then go on with your looking." Utterly miserable as Gollum sounded, Bilbo could not find much pity in his heart, as he had a feeling that anything Gollum wanted so much could hardly be something good. "Come along," he shouted. "No, not yet, precious," Gollum answered. "We must search for it. It's lost, Gollum." "But you never guessed my last question, and you promised," said Bilbo. "Never guessed?" said Gollum. Then suddenly, out of the gloom, came a sharp hiss. "What has it got in its pockets? Tell us that. It must tell us first." As far as Bilbo knew, there was no particular reason why he should not tell. Gollum's mind had jumped to a guess quicker than his, naturally, for Gollum had brooded for ages on this one thing, and he was always afraid of being stolen. But Bilbo was annoyed after the delay. After all, he had won the game pretty fairly at a horrible risk. "Answers were to be guessed, not given," he said. "But it wasn't a fair question," said Gollum. "Not a riddle, precious, no." "Oh, no? If it's a matter of ordinary questions," Bilbo replied, "then I asked one first. What have you lost? Tell me that." "What has it got in its pockets?" The sound came hissing louder and sharper as he looked towards it. To his alarm, Bilbo now saw two small points of light peering at him. As suspicion grew in Gollum's mind, the light of his eyes burned with a pale flame. "What have you lost?" Bilbo persisted. But now the light in Gollum's eyes had become a green fire, and it was coming swiftly nearer. Gollum was in his boat again, paddling wildly back to the dark shore, and such a rage of loss and suspicion was in his heart that no sword had any more terror for him. Bilbo could not guess what had maddened the wretched creature, but he saw that all was up, and that Gollum meant to murder him at any rate. Just in time, he turned and ran blindly back up the dark passage down which he had come, keeping close to the wall and feeling it with his left hand. "What has it got in his pockets?" He heard that hiss loud behind him, and the splash as Gollum left from his boat. "What have I wonder?" Oh, wait, no. Sorry, that was Bilbo. "What have I wonder?" he said to himself as he panted and stumbled along. He put his left hand in his pocket. The ring felt very cold as it quietly slipped onto his groping forefinger. The hiss was close behind him. He turned now and saw Gollum's eyes like small green lamps coming up the slope. Terrified, he tried to run faster, but suddenly he struck his toes on a snag on the floor and fell flat with his little sword under him. In a moment, Gollum was on him. But before Bilbo could do anything, recover his path, pick himself up, or wave his sword, Gollum passed by, taking no notice of him, cursing and whimpering as he ran. What could it mean? Gollum could see in the dark. Bilbo could see the light of his eyes palely shining, even from behind. Painfully, he got up. He sheathed his sword, which was now glowing faintly again. Then very cautiously he followed. There seemed nothing else to do. It was no good crawling back down to Gollum's water. Perhaps, if he had followed him, Gollum might lead him to some way of escaping without meaning. "Curse it, curse it, curse it," hissed Gollum. Curse the Baggins, it's gone. What has it got in its pockets? Oh, we guess, my precious. He found it, yes, he must have my birthday present. Bilbo picked up his ears. He was at last beginning to guess himself. He hurried a little, getting as close as he dared behind Gollum, who was still going quickly, not looking back, but turning his head from side to side, as Bilbo could see the faint glimmer on the walls. My birthday present. Curse it. How must... My birthday present. Curse it. How did we lose it? My precious. Yes, that's it. When we came this way last. When we twisted that nasty young squeaker. That's it. Curse it. It slipped from us after all these ages and ages. It's gone, Gollum. Suddenly Gollum sat down and began to weep. A whistling and gurgling sound horrible to listen to. Bilbo halted and flattened himself against the tunnel walls. After a while, Gollum stopped weeping and began talking. He seemed to be having an argument with himself. It's no good going back there to search. It's no good going back there to search, no. We doesn't remember all the places we visited, and it's no use. The Baggins has got it in its pocketses. The nasty noser has found it, we says. We guesses, precious, only guesses. We can't know till we find the nasty creature and squeeze at it. But it doesn't know what the present can do, does it? It'll just keep it in its pocketses. It doesn't know, and it can't go far. It's lost itself, the nasty noses. It doesn't know the way out. It said so. It said so, yes, but it's tricksy. I don't know what it means. I won't say what it's got in its pockets is. It knows. It knows a way in. It must know a way out. Yes, it's off to the back door. To the back door, that's it. The goblins will catch it. Then it can't get out that way, precious. Gollum's is. Yes, but if it's got the precious, a precious present, the goblins will get it, Gollum. They'll find it. They'll find out what it does. We shan't ever be safe again. Never, Gollum. One of the goblins will put it on, and then one of them will see him. He'll be there, but not seen. Not even our clever eyes will notice him. We'll come creepsy and tricksy and catch us, Gollum. Gollum. Then let's stop talking, precious. Make haste. If the Baggins has gone that way, we must go quick and see. Go, not far now. Make haste. With a spring, Gollum got up and started shambling off at a great pace. Bilbo hurried after him, still curiously, though his chief fear now was off tripping on another snag and falling with the noise. His head was in a whirl of hope and wonder. It seemed that the ring he had was a magic ring. It made you invisible. He had heard of such things, of course, in old tales, but it was hard to believe that he really found one by accident. Still, there it was. Gollum, with his bright eyes, had passed by him only a yard to one side. On they went, Gollum flip-flapping ahead, hissing and cursing. Bilbo was going as softly as a hobbit can. Soon they came to a place where Bilbo had noticed on the way down. Side passages opened, this way and that way. Gollum began at once, only to count them. One left, yes. One right, yes. Two right, yes, yes. Two left, yes, yes, and so on and so on. As the count grew, he slowed down and he began to get shaky and weepy, for he was leaving the water further and further behind, and he was getting afraid. Goblins might be out and about, and he had lost his ring. At last he stopped by a low opening on their left as they went up. All right, guys. This is where I'm going to pause for the day. I love you guys so much, and we'll chat soon.